Every successful company eventually hits a wall. After dominating their market and maximizing profits, they face a terrifying mandate from investors: keep growing. Entering a brand new industry is incredibly hostile. Launching an unknown product from scratch requires millions in advertising and years of grinding to earn a sliver of consumer trust. Most of these attempts fail. To bypass that grueling process, executives rely on a high-stakes strategy known as the brand extension. Instead of building a new identity, they take their existing logo and stretch it over an entirely different product. In the early 1950s, Walt Disney ran a highly profitable but strictly defined business. He made animated films and cartoon shorts. To generate massive new revenue, the studio needed to look beyond the movie theater. In 1955, Disney gambled the company's reputation on a radical pivot. He took characters like Mickey Mouse and Cinderella and used them to anchor a massive, hands-on amusement park in Southern California. Theme parks had nothing to do with movie production, but the transition worked perfectly. Consumers associated the Disney name with nostalgic family experiences and magic. The physical park delivered on exactly those promises. This elasticity spectrum outlines 4 distinct outcomes when a company stretches its name into a new market: good, more good, bad, and ugly. A brand is an elastic asset, but stretching it the wrong way triggers a violent snapback. This first dynamic represents the good. An established brand acts as a psychological battering ram, transferring its hard-earned credibility to a completely untested product, granting it instant visibility and trust. Think about the friction of starting a new baby clothing line. Parents are highly skeptical of unknown materials and safety standards. If you stamp the Disney logo on a onesie, parents apply their lifetime of positive feelings to that piece of cotton. The trust is inherited. We see this functional transfer everywhere. Starbucks used its coffee reputation to sell at-home coffee makers. NyQuil took its cold relief authority and created ZzzQuil, dominating the sleep aid market. This feedback loop illustrates the more good. This happens when the new product becomes so successful that it pumps fresh energy and cultural relevance back into the parent company. Virgin started as a rebellious record label. When they launched Virgin Atlantic, they took a massive risk. But by injecting their signature rock and roll attitude into the stiff, formal airline industry, they expanded their cultural footprint globally. Giorgio Armani expanded from high-end fashion into luxury hotels and interior design. He proved his aesthetic could define entire physical spaces, broadening his influence. The most elite extensions don't extract value from the master brand. They actively deposit new prestige into it. Elasticity has its limits. The third outcome is the bad. This occurs when executives force an extension that defies logic, and the consumer outright rejects the premise due to a lack of fit. In the 1980s, Harley-Davidson tried to capitalize on the beverage craze by releasing a branded wine cooler. Their core audience of hardcore bikers immediately revolted against the sweet, fruity drink. The credibility mismatch was total. Levi's faced the exact same rejection when they introduced a line of tailored classic suits. Consumers associated Levi's with rugged durability and casual outdoorswear. A strong logo cannot save a product if the core associations clash. The fourth outcome is the ugly. This is the worst-case scenario, where an illogical or flawed extension acts as a poison that travels backward up the chain, killing the master brand itself. If a prestige company licenses its logo out to cheap, mass-market items, it destroys its own exclusivity. Gucci nearly collapsed entirely after years of putting its name on thousands of low-quality accessories, eroding decades of high fashion authority. A mismatched product does not quietly fade away. It aggressively tears down the psychological trust the parent company spent decades building. Modern executives face a difficult puzzle. They have to capture new revenue to satisfy shareholders, but their logo is a fragile psychological contract with their customers. Before making a move, strategists audit their brand's true core associations. Wells Fargo relies heavily on images of stagecoaches and the Old West. Their perceived value is tied to an entrepreneurial, pioneer spirit, not just holding cash in a vault. Even with a perfect audit, a new entry requires actual innovation. A famous name slapped on a lazy copycat product will fail against entrenched competitors. The product still has to deliver a superior experience. When the business strategy demands entering a risky new market, corporations use distance as their ultimate strategic safety net. This structural tree shows how they build architectural firewalls. BMW bought the retro Mini Cooper, positioning it as a distinct sub-brand, completely separate from their sleek luxury sedans. Marriott launched Courtyard by Marriott as an endorsed brand, capturing budget travelers without cheapening their premium suites. A strategic extension allows a firm to leverage its most valuable asset, its reputation, into new categories. But even the most elastic brand is only a bridge. While the name gets customers through the door, the product itself still has to earn